Right, are we going? Are we moving, guys? Someone else in the room. Just one of their guys is on the roof. There we go, through the biggest man.
What's going on, Billy Bobs? How you doing?
Scooby-Doo.
1,000 subscribers!
You're right, kids. It's Raasclark.
You're right, kids. It's Raasclark.
And we've got Raz with us.
Which leaves the most voted creature in Ark.
Because it's not yours.
What's wrong with this thing?
Oh my god, 10,000 subscribers. No! But which is the best tank? The Rockwell Tentacle Plant has a name.
Here we go. Oh my god!
Dude. No! You're right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular Ark Main Theme Lofi. Look now, time. Oh! That's screenshot. Oh no, I'm gonna die by metaphysics. Well, let's watch yours. Let's see. What are the community's most favourite maps? Oh yes, right, okay. There's a few pedestals. I'm here. Hi, John. Oh! Don't go. My name's Jeff. Oh, no! I don't think you can do that. You're right, kids, it's Raasclark, and wow, oh wow, we hit the big 100,000. It's been such a journey to reach this point, and I owe it to you out there watching this video right now, subscribers, the Raasouls, the Raasoul army. You have all made this happen by hitting that button, by getting us up to a phenomenal number I could never have believed I would hit anytime soon. Starting this a few years ago, and yes, I know my YouTube channel's a bit older than that. I started doing videos about 6-7 years ago, but actually didn't get into it until about 2 years ago because circumstance provided. I was given an opportunity to pursue this full-time as a result of COVID, of all things, combining my passions in entertainment and of course a game I love playing that you certainly must enjoy watching. It's brought us to this point. 100,000 is a phenomenal number, and I am so deeply humbled. There's so many people out there that I've got to thank, and I will thank towards the end of this video, but I know a lot of you have wrote comments and questions asking me a few things, so let's get a deep dive into the comments and see what you're talking about. See, just reading the comments alone that you've left, honestly, just really fills and warms my heart. As cheesy as it sounds, it does really make this all worth it, just seeing all of the love and support you show me every day. It's not even the odd random comments. Every single day somebody leaves something really nice for me to read, and I just damn man, you got me in the feels. Okay, comments, questions, what have you got for me? To Symbiote asks, here's my question. How far ahead have you had to plan your content in order for things to flow ideally for you? Times aren't always perfect, but when things are moving smoothly, how far ahead are you to have your content planned out? Well, I don't. I don't. I am pretty much day by day tackling the next video. Sometimes I get ahead of myself with the Monarchy videos, try and get 1 or 2 pre-booked about a week in advance, but for the most part every video that I output is done on the day, or that maybe even the day before, but I rarely ever have the time to schedule, because that's the game of being daily and doing daily uploads. You know, there's just no way you can plan ahead for that. I wish I could. I might need an editor, pretty soon. Watch this space. If you do know someone, comment below. I'd write a regular on the channel as well. What's your favourite type of video to record? Monarchy episodes, memes, news, or something else? Wow, that's a difficult one to answer because it combines everything. I do genuinely enjoy every element of Ark that I do, but I guess the bread and butter for me is the news. A lot of you out there recognise me for doing the news, and I do enjoy jumping on, what's hot, what's new, what's great about Ark, what's upcoming. And it's not even just Ark, it's everything in the games industry. As a small child, when I could barely walk, I was reading articles, magazines, games magazines, and just enjoying the journalists' journey of what discoveries they were making and what was upcoming, and just anticipating the next latest and greatest things to come to the gaming industry. And I think I've adapted that, grabbing those old Games Master magazines and a bit of BBC News on top to do some sort of performance for you in the form of news, which I really do enjoy. I really do enjoy sharing those epic moments and seeing where the game that I love and you certainly love to play goes next. Ninja Raptor, when did you begin to play Ark and how did you discover it? And why did you decide to make a YouTube channel on this topic? Well, so originally I wanted to play Ark well before I could even play it. I had a PlayStation at the time, and Frankie on PC in 1080p, who's recently reappeared, was doing videos about DayZ. In fact, DayZ was the game I was keeping a close eye on, hoping it was going to come to console, but then he did 3 or 4 videos on Ark, and that was enough. Way back when it was in beta form, and that was enough. I was in love with the game. Considering that I played every hot game out there, I literally did every brand new game that was coming out. I would jump on that and have a bash. Ark was the one, and I couldn't wait to play it. And by God, I was right. The second it dropped on PlayStation was the second I played it, and haven't looked back since. It's crazy to think I have been playing Ark for 6.5 years now. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I've tried to move away and play other games out there. Games I used to love, like Metal Gear Solid. When Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, I did have a little break on that. But apart from that one, nah, I've always gone back to Ark. It's such a big open sandbox game that you can literally create your own stories with. Ark, as I'm sure you know, can tell 1,000 stories. You can play Ark today, tomorrow, a week from today, a month from today, a year from today, and it will always be a different story of what you did in that gameplay, and I love that. There's nothing else out there that has really competed in my eyes. From Carnivore, speaking of recovery from the grind, do you have any pets? If yes, what are they like? If no, what's your favourite animal? Well, there's a funny story there. I don't anymore at the moment. I did used to have an African land snail, which became part of a tribe name in Ark. I've got a few videos out there, my older videos, if you want to check them out, where we formed a tribe called the Diamond Snails, named after the African land snail. And yes, it was a big snail. From Axolotl, are there any non-Ark games that you would get involved in to the same degree as you have with Ark? It's a very good question. The issue is, the YouTube algorithm, from what I understand, sucks if you try and do more than one game. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love to, and I'd certainly do occasionally dabble. I played the odd survival horror game here and there. I do play a bit of Halo on the side, a bit of Call of Duties on the side as well. But yeah, no, I would love to get more involved with, especially survival horror. I feel that's where survival games really kicked off for me. Love it. Love the element of being backed into a corner, scared out of your wits, and trying to figure your way out, which of course horror games provided, and why I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and Ark certainly kind of segued that survival part in along with everything else. From Dia Desold, what steadies your patience as a content creator? Damn. Yeah, I don't know. Patience, I haven't really got much patience. Have you not watched my Ark video? Patience, nah. But perseverance, I've got in spades. I will certainly just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until I finally crack what I need to crack. But no, I haven't, man. Ask any of them on Arks. Patience isn't a thing I've got at all. I don't think I have anyway. Maybe I have. I don't know. From JP Wolf, what is the biggest goal of yours to achieve? And I've got to ask, what is the Raasclark origin story? What led to the man, the myth, the legend we know today? That's a broad question. Well, the goal I can definitely answer. Of course, being a sort of avenue for news and segueing into a bit of interviewing. I did a few episodes last year, and now that Survival Evolved show me and Jade are doing now, I really truly want that to propel to a professional level, that we can interview the big people out there, the big developers, the stars. Vin Diesel is the goal, if I had to put a name on it. To be able to interview some of the voice actors behind the animated TV series and hopefully live action movie that comes after that. That is the goal. To be perhaps even a red carpet reporter at the premiere of the Ark movie. I would love that. I would love to be on the front line there with the mic in hand, suited and booted, asking the questions. And origin story, I don't even know where to start there. I guess if you was to sum up, why did I get into YouTube from what I was doing before? Before this, I was a graphic designer for a big firm. COVID happened, lost my job, but I used the elements that I learned from that design and video editing and applied it to this, combining with a bit of acting or trying to act. Years ago, I used to get involved with like zombie chase events where I would pretend to be like a killer clown or something and act out scenes and chase people around, which was great, by the way. There was nothing better than seeing a grown man absolutely brown trouser himself. And yeah, combining that with that and just general all-round entertainment. My mum said she always thought I was going to be a blue coat. If you don't know what a blue coat is, it's a thing in Pontins where you entertain people. So perhaps I am, yeah, a next generation blue coat. And that Courtney girl, what made you start this YouTube journey? Were you ever at a point you thought it wouldn't get you far? I don't know. I feel like I kind of explained why I got to this point. I've never felt like this has been all for nothing. Certainly starting out when I was really grinding to see if I could make a career out of this, it was hard work, but I don't know. It's certainly combining my passions, and I think if you have a passion for something, it sells itself in a way. If people can see you passionate about what you are passionate about, I think that speaks volumes. Whatever you're doing. Did I know this was going to be a success, or is it leading to a success? Absolutely not. But, you know, I'm very humbled to have gotten this far, and I am every day. I am very thankful for the amount of people that tune in. It's a big pleasure. Yeah. From Jake's Q, what made you decide to start YouTube and specifically Ark videos? I assume you love the game, but why undertake it? Was it that you'd hopefully gain financial incentive from playing, or more that you noticed a gap in information, you were searching for and decided to provide it for those that were also searching for it? Yeah, no, it was a bit of that. There was certainly an entry, a kind of area where I thought, okay, nobody's doing this in Ark. I'll kind of add my 2 cents and see if people start listening. And I guess that, you know, that was an entry, but I definitely was just combining everything that I love doing. I'd like, Ark wasn't a financial choice at all. It was the game that I love playing. Why not do videos about it? From Potato Man, potatoes, do you have any advice for someone starting a YouTube channel? A question that I get asked far too often, and it's a difficult one to answer because it's such a broad answer to answer. Like, you need to, 1, have a passion, 2, grind and grind and grind and grind and learn and adapt and just improve yourself with each and every video. Go and watch my videos, which you saw 1 or 2 at the start of that intro. They are terrible. I can't even look back at my videos from last year without cringing. I'm probably going to look back at this video next year and cringe at these. As long as you are constantly improving, critiquing yourself, just shedding light humour on yourself, making fun of yourself, I think that's a massive quality to have. Make sure you can laugh at yourself. If you can't, then you're going to have a real challenge in this game. Arman Gamer, what do you plan on doing in the future with this amazing goal, and who inspired you to start making videos? Going forward, keep doing what I'm doing. Hopefully when Ark 2 comes around, that's going to be a big time for this channel. I'm hoping. I'm going to keep plugging the news as we look forward towards that, and hopefully that, you know, that's going to be the drill. I might jump on a few other games as there may be a gap between Ark 1 and Ark 2. I can certainly see there might be, and I might have a little play about next month. Watch this space. And who inspired me? No, I wouldn't say anyone specifically inspired me to start making videos, but as I've started making them and carried on making them, there's definitely been influence from so many content creators out there. To wind it back even more, I guess, you know, I was watching people like Jade Plays Games, Syntac, Lucky by Nature, Captain Fat Dog, Nerd Parade, Bam, Kishko, Faceless Gaming, a big one, Ascended Gaming. If you've not checked them out, please do. I don't think they're doing much Ark content anymore, but I do really admire the guy in particular because he's got a bit of a speech issue, which, you know, I haven't got the greatest talking voice in the world. And I definitely did look to channels like him that said, you know what, screw it, I don't care what you think of my ability to speak or talk, I'm going to just keep running with it and see if it goes somewhere. And I definitely perhaps drew some inspiration from that for sure. Pink and Fluffy coming at me with 3 questions. Would you consider building your own map in the future, and what would it be like? Have you always been a gamer, and what did you do or play before Ark? Yeah, lots of questions there. Building my own map, absolutely. In fact, I used to. If anyone out there knows, Far Cry Instinct's Predator had a great map maker back in the day, and I used to make loads on there. And perhaps I need to spend a bit more time understanding the mod game, but I do think with the release of Unreal Engine 5, I think it's going to be a lot easier to create your own maps for Ark 2 when that arrives. So I might wait until then. Watch this space. Have I always been a gamer? Absolutely. From the minute I could walk, I was playing video games, right from the Atari 2600 straight through to the Mega Drive, N64, PlayStation, and then I started collecting them all. There's a few above my head. You can't see them because the camera's a bit lower. But yeah, I'm a huge collector of video games. I have got games everywhere, all locked up in cupboards. The plan is at some point I will have them all on display, but not until we move because there's just no space in this room. What did I play before Ark? I kind of answered that before. Pretty much every game out there. I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid. I'm a huge fan of the Resident Evil games, but I would play every game out there. If I was to put one up there on a pedestal, Shadow of the Colossus I think would probably be one of the biggest games out there that I loved. But you know, every single N64 game out there, there's so many games I was playing before Ark. I could tell you about any of them, any game that was released before Ark. After Ark, no idea. I've been sucked into the portal, I've got no idea. But yeah, massive fan of just games in general. Janet Fraser, my question is, what do you do when you're not playing Ark? Editing videos. It's pretty much that, playing Ark, editing videos, playing Ark, editing videos. That's the game. You know, if you're going to do a YouTube career, you've got to be fully invested. I feel like you need to look at it as being the new kid, the job business place where you've got to make an impression, and in doing so you've got to work your heart out, and I fully intend to for a lot longer than now. Noah Millard, do you ever plan to switch from Ark, seeing as it's dying a bit? Yeah, look, it's no secret my channel surrounds Ark Survival Evolved, and I do ask, what if Ark was to die tomorrow and everybody stopped playing Ark? What would I do? Well, I'd certainly just invest myself into the games that I love playing. As I mentioned before, like the varied survival horror games out there, quite fancy a bit of Elden Ring if I had the time. There's a lot of games out there I'd get stuck into, to be honest. There's so many. And if there is a gap between Ark 1 and Ark 2, I definitely probably will invest some time into other games. Just probably not completely. I don't want to isolate the whole purpose of my channel as it is today. So I've got a bunch of thank yous to do. But before I do that, I did promise you I would share with you something that happened when I hit 100k. My wife kindly arranged something with the holiday hotel people that we was away at. And yeah, this happened.
We've come a long way, but we're not too sure where we've been. We've had success, we've had good times, but remember this. Soon this will all be someone else's dream. This will be someone else's dream. I have something for you. Wait a minute. Hey, listen on this. here 100K of subscribers in YouTube. He's a YouTuber. So we are celebrating.
So yeah, so a big thank you to my wife and friends who were there that arranged that, and of course their support throughout. You know who you are, and all of my family as well. Everybody has been behind me every step of the way as somebody who was going to just pursue a career on YouTube doing video games. Although everybody knows how much I love video games, so I think they knew I could put that passion to the real test, and I'm glad to turn around to tell them it paid off, and it really has been worth it. But it's a wonder where I would have got if I hadn't have had the influences that I had, the advice, support from other big content creators out there. Jade Plays Games came in so early and offered me so much support. I've got nothing but all the time in the world for Jade, and I hope we do continue these Survival Evolved shows going forward, and hopefully we can make a big thing out of that. Jade definitely gave me a good kickstart right from the off, giving me shout outs and such. Teach came in early on. Of course, Mr. Bitmore Dave, we've become great friends since, and got invited to his wedding in his house, and we have a good laugh, or at my expense, I'm pretty sure most of the time. And then the rest of the monarchy: Terrifier, Captain Fat Dog, Krabby, Kaya, ASG. Big love to you all, and I do recommend that to anybody, to get a group of content creators together, because at the very least it just helps you to bounce ideas off each other and help to essentially make each other better creators. And that of course extends out to Fire Pumpkin, who sadly left the monarchy, but the collaborations we've had with the architects, and then that moves on to everybody involved. There's so many people behind the scenes there that I've encountered that are all great, awesome people. Aaron Longstaff, of course, we've exchanged quite a few times. We did the duet on the extra live stream, which I hope we're doing again this year, mate. I hope to see you there. We're going to do something silly again. I'm just dreading what we do that beats those horrible jelly beans. And all of the people that I've had the opportunity to collaborate with, there's been so many. Syntac, of course, Axeman, Apex, Neddy the Noodle, Up From the Depths, Mr. Dolphin, Safiro, Aaron Aztec. There's so many. I'm sure I'm going to miss someone, and I do apologise if I am missing you. Of course, modders out there. Codigo Alex, who put my voice in his mod map. Good grief. Nakatas, I don't even need to say anything. You know how big praise I give to Nakatas on almost a daily basis by now. And with that, G-Portal, the server company that Nakatas works for, that are now partnered with me, a big thank you to you. I'm very humbled to be a partner of you. I truly am. And then there is the big dogs, the developers, the OGs, the people who brought Ark to life. You guys are just incredible. To have somewhat accepted me as part of the community means the world. To be some form of personality and be able to be recognized by you, which has in turn helped, propel my status amongst the community, means more than probably anything. To know that the people that make the game enjoy watching me, it's just one of the best things ever. It really is. Of course, Kuda Cause, it's been great to get to know you. Craig Brown, can't wait to do a new feature on you and certainly speak again soon. Said, come on, man. We've got to get a chatting soon, mate. It's been far too long, and fly me out over there. Let's get it on. Let's get some representation going on, a bit of drinking. It's got to be done. Dali, you're an absolute legend. You're an absolute star. And it was an honour to be a part of the Discord team for the time that I did. And of course, with that, FM, Bluestone, and all of the mods there in the official Ark Discord, you're all absolute legends. Jat, we've spoken a few times. I know you've disappeared into the shadows a bit now, but it is a real pleasure to speak to each and every one of you. I hope I haven't missed a developer that I've exchanged words with in the past. If I have, I do apologise, but it is a true pleasure to be able to do that. And of course, the big ones, the Raasclarks, all behind the scenes, that all support me from a monetary position. It really does mean the world to have you backing me. That's Pink and Fluffy, Songbird, Bcap, Hambone, Melanie V, Folk Unicorn, JP Wolf, and Smoke Wolf B. You guys are the MVPs when it comes to supporting me. I can't express how big of a deal it is to know that I have you guys to fall back on. Nobody should feel obligated to want to support, donate, or whichever, but you choose to. And that is just one of the most incredible things, to know there are people out there that really want to see me succeed and keep on supporting me that way makes all of the difference. And I'm incredibly thankful to you, to everybody out there, to you out there watching this. I am. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I can't wait to see what comes next with a big 250. It's coming soon. Maybe when Ark 2 happens, eh? Until then, I'll see you there. My name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.